I am Minstrom Yeren, keeper of the great library of Marcuria. In fact, this is the greatest library of all the Northlands.
With a lot of knowledge hidden within its walls. I am not certain too. Well, guess we need some more books.
Oh, goodness, it's you again. Oh, you gave me such a fright.
Don't turn away when I'm going to be asking more books.
Can I see some more books?
Oh, certainly. What a silly question.
Such a silly thing that you're saying that, well... Okay, so a book of history of Marcuria. I'm looking for information.
I'm looking for some information, but I'm not sure which book to ask for.
No matter. I know a great deal about most of the books in here. What topic intrigues you?
Let's see. Okay. We're given a piece of the stone list, more about the dragons, about the Draic. I'd like to learn more about the dragons, about the Draic.
I'd like to learn more about dragons, about the Draic kin.
Draic.
Oh, yes, yes. We have some wonderful books on that topic. Stay here.
Let's stay more on the same kind of a topic, so to speak. Okay, now going into that shelf. Intriguing. Well, there is certainly a lot to read. That's for sure. As long as I just manage to read everything relatively correctly, then that would be great. Thank you.
I did find something of interest. I'll leave it here for you to read.
Yes, let's have a look. See. What does it say? So, Secrets of the Draic by Minstrom Eliak. Forward. The Draic are known by many names throughout the Twin Worlds. In all tongue, they are often referred to as Draic. In some variations of Low Tongue, Drashun. In the Southlands, the word Draic refers specifically to the winged lizard shape traditionally associated with the kin. In her heart, the eternal spirits of the kin are called simply Drag, regardless of their current shape. In Stark, most cultures refer to the kin as Dragon, Draic, Drase, Dragoon. Or in Finnish, that would be Lohikäärme, actually. So Totis usually refers only to the winged lizard-like shape and not to the spirit inhabiting this shape. In fact, while in Arcady, the kin are respected and revered as eternal spirits with great significance in the balance and the all. In Stark, the kin are mostly creatures of mythology and fairy tales. However, in some Stark legends and scriptures, notably the Christian Bible, the name dragon is associated with forces of evil, and thus the religious connotations do seem to have carried over in a somewhat distorted form. Who or what are the Draic? Why not ask who is the creator, or what is the all? Questions thus asked will remain in perpetuity unanswered, for they are in truth unanswerable. To condense all knowledge of the creator into one answer is futile, as is any attempt to define the all without describing every single element that makes up the all. So also with the Draic, we cannot answer who is the kin or what is the kin, but we can provide some answers to the simpler questions, the questions that deal with what we see and hear and feel and what we have been told by the kin themselves. Answers that together may give us, if only the faintest hint of the full truth, then at least some indication of who or what the Draic are. Born of the emptiness between the stars, reads the 11th scripture of the balance. The scripture of time, shaped in unison. Shaped in unison with the all, part of the all, yet outside the all. Draic, note the ancient high tongue variation of Draic king. Why so many variations and interpretations of the Draic king from culture to culture? The kin have always been shrouded in mystery, and from mystery rises legends and myth. The kin seem content to be seen as nothing but tall tales and figments of a bard's fertile imagination. Well, I guess when they are from that sort of all, well, also the sea dragon is nonetheless different than the white dragon, the mother, then it's a good question what kind of dragons the dragons that are in Stark are supposedly. Well.
Are you done? Let me take that back for you.
Yes, thank you once more. Well, it is interesting, very much indeed intriguing. And then I'm gonna scare you again. Because I can.
Oh, goodness, it's you again. Oh, you gave me such a fright.
Somehow.
Could I see some more books?
Yes.
Oh, certainly. What is...
Okay. That's how I was able to skip into this
I'm looking
spot.
for some
No
information.
matter. I know a great...
Let's have a look just quickly into here, but because no need to be listening to that every time. So I need to find out which 4 magical people of Arcadia were given a piece of the stone disc that served as a key to the Guardian's realm.
I need to find out which 4 magical people of Arcadia were given a piece of the stone disc that serves as the key to the Guardian's realm.
The stone disc of the balance, yes? Yes. There could possibly be something on that in... let me check. Just one moment.
This seemed to be the hardest topic for him to think where to find the notes, but, well, the bias wasn't exactly sure about it either, so I guess it's logical enough. It's nice though that he goes a little bit into different shelves, thus he has visited this one the most, thus far at least.
I did find something of interest. I'll leave it here for you to read.
Thank you very much. So, chapter 16 in the 8th scripture, the scripture of breaking. Regarding the disc of the balance and the events that came about when the disc was broken. The scriptures tell us that the disc was kept at the enclave for many thousands of years, safely guarded from any threat by the respect held by every man and woman for the authority of the fathers. But with dissent came disobedience, and disobedience brought immorality, and immorality began theft. Tyrant soldiers, aided by sentinel traders, attempted to make away with the disc, but were thwarted by the White of the King herself. Okay, the White King came and helped with that. So, well, of course, it would have been very bad if the disc would have been stolen. Intriguing though that she was the one that actually came to thwart that. King herself, intervening although forbidden to do so. On behalf of the fathers, the disc was brought safely back to the enclave, but the threat would linger in the minds of the minstrum and the vestrum, so it became that the disc was melted into forge of the dragon's mouth, shaped into the elements of 4 magical people, and given to these respective people for safekeeping until such a time when it was decreed that the disc should once more be full. 1 stone to the gentle souls that sing in the dark and shape the earth between their toes. 1 stone to the watchers of the woods, the ones who are outside. 1 stone to the 2 that make one of air and of sea. and 1 stone to the keepers of the dark flame, the eternally dark, the mariners. When the time comes for the disc to be full again, 1 person will make a journey to the 4 who hold the pieces. Well, I guess that's going to be us, and the pieces will be given willingly, because there will be no doubt to the righteousness of this person. Intriguing, but okay. So 1 is earth people, gentle souls that sing in the dark and save the earth between their toes. So probably, well, I don't know if there's dwarves, but some people that live probably underground, because between their toes, and gentle souls that sing in the dark. So they don't have light above their head or sun above their head. I would assume that they live underground. 1 stone to the watchers of the woods, the ones who are outside, so it could be something like elves, but that would be relatively normal kind of a race in the forests. It could be just something completely different, but still somewhere in the forests. 1 stone to the 2 that make 1 of air and of sea. 1 of air of the sea. I don't think it's going to be merman, because we have to find the merman for finding the 1 dragon. But this I am not exactly sure. Well, it's not on the land, it's somewhere. In some ways it kind of makes me feel like something like air elemental or something, but it's because if there's water gets hot enough, it will turn into vapors or into the air, of course. But I don't know. I'm sure we can try to be asking about it from somewhere. And 1 stone to the keepers of the dark flame. And this guy just mentioned to us that there is even a greater library somewhere among the dark people. So probably this is the same people that he mentioned. The eternally dark, the mariners. And when the time comes for the disc to be full again, 1 person will make a journey to the 4 who hold the pieces, and pieces will be given willingly, because there will be no doubt to the righteousness of this person.
Are you done? Let me take that back for you.
Yes, I'm done. Might I ask other questions from you too, other than just read the books? I'm not sure, but I would kind of like to. Most likely, yes. Well, as we're already almost done, let's read a little bit more. Just a teeny tiny bit more.
Oh, goodness.
Could I see some more books?
Certainly.
Yes, well, a book of the history of Mercuria would be interesting.
A book on the history of Mercuria would be interesting.
Ah, an extensive subject, to be sure. I will do my best.
Thank you. But probably that 1 book specifically about where the 4 pieces would be, or among which races, that was probably the most important book in here for us. Although the merman was also, it confirmed that they aren't aggressive like the sailors tell, and they believe in that god of the sea, as into the dragon of the sea. And then a little bit information about the white dragon.
I did find something of interest. I'll leave it here for you to read.
Thank you. So, Travels in the Northlands by Germain the Discoverer. The first part. In my many years as a traveling poet and bard, I have journeyed far and wide across the fair realm of Arcady. And I have seen sights most people have not dreamed. I have stood on the magnificent and terrible southern capes in the midst of a winter, when the storms are at their fiercest, while waves as tall as the towers of Altaban washed over my frozen body. I have witnessed the monstrous beast that lurks in those dark and deadly waters. Monstrous. of the south swallow brave galleons whole, creatures the size of mountains that with a flick of tail can touch the depths of a sea and the stars themselves. I have crossed the great ocean from north to south and from east to west, and in the course been stranded on desert islands with no sustenance but what I could gather from the sparse vegetation. For months at a time I have ridden the giant elk when across Shangri-La, the wasteland from Aldebaran to Monderba, and further south where the Draic, the oases, are few and far between, and I have seen the shifting dunes above the ruins of Coremon, precious jewel of the Bakshivan Empire, concealed for centuries by the coarse and treacherous sand, and I have journeyed far west, carried on good will and destiny by shadow ships, to the strange and unknown cliffs of a world unseen by most, a world of an unfamiliar tongue and customs, a world of great wonder and mysticism. Goodwill and destiny by shadow ships. I wonder if that is something about those dark people. I'm not sure. I have seen all this and more, but the fairest sights will I have seen in the lands of the north. I'm trying to remember how that one guy said it before, but I read something like that. To the border mountains from Tyrene to the Bay of Fire. No sight can ever compare to dawn at Mount Trinay, looking out to the plains of Nehrda, where wild stallions, where wild stallions run free in the thousands, and the look on the city of Procede, the pearl of fire, while the boiling sun sets in the ocean beyond, the slow waves reflecting dark yellow and red as they lap slowly upon the sandy shores, is an experience truly treasured and never forgotten. Never forgotten, probably, yes. These lands are blessed by the Creator, shaped by men, yet wild and free and fertile, home to the greatest cities, the most precious sights, and the most cultured and civilized people in Arcadia. Of all the fires I have rested my weary legs by, of all the taverns where I have learned the legends of tale spinners and memorized the songs of bards, of all the lands where I have wandered from city to village, it is to the Northlands I return time and time again to learn ever more. Join me now, for I will evoke in you the very emotions I first experienced when visiting the sights and treasures of the northern lands. Join me, and I will surely bring you there to the exotic midst of this blessed land, and you will pine for its rugged coast and green woods and its hardy people, and like me, you will never rest until you can return to yonder shores. Marcuria. O Marcuria, thou unkept diamond, of capitals thou art by truth the fairest. Thy counsel many seek, for knowledge kept within its centuries sought and catered, by men wiser than the ages brought hither. By word of mouth, Marcuria changed thou not the course of war, between thine people, diplomat, wise man, magician, all this and more. Thou hast without equal the mark of merit and virtue, written by Sermon Artin the poet. The august capital of Aureat, the unfied country, Marcuria lies on the hardy southern coast of the Northlands, halfway between Tyrene and Coruscant. It is a port of call for merchants, traders, adventurers, and pilgrims on all four continents, a place of commerce and diplomacy for millions of humans and other species. Aureat is a strong and proud land perched between the plains of Nehrda to the north, the land of the Tyrene to the west, the great sea to the south, and the forests of the Northlands to the east, and inhabited by humans, Dolmari, Tyrene, Mole people, and Venar. Arid was a former after Marcuria emerged as a major center for diplomacy and trade, and became the banner under which the surrounding lands united as one. Arid is a democracy, currently led by the Chief Council of the Arid flag, Lord Yukvan Delan. The High Council, composed of the ministers who govern by representation, resides in the Marcurian Hall of Assembly, flanked by the palace and the barracks. The Aridis are traditionalist, and her form of government has barely changed over the last few millennia. In High Tong, Arid means unification or assembly. Marcuria is one of the largest cities of Arcadia, the capital of Arid, and a center for trade, diplomacy, and cultural diversity. Populated by a large variety of races from human to Venar, Marcuria has grown from its origins as the birthplace of humanity to a city of all Arcadians and the hub of the civilized world. Founded 20,000 years ago at the shore of the then unconquerable ocean, it is the first known permanent settlement of the emerging human race, initially left to its own devices by more developed races. Marcuria grew large and fat and wealthy with newfound confidence. It passed through a period of expansion which gained it a reputation as a merciless aggressor, which soon brought violent attention from the Tyrrhene in the west and the Dalmar in the north. After years of war, Marcuria was decimated and subsequently rebuilt with sufficient reinforcements to weather attacks from both sea and land. Peaceful times followed, whereupon Marcuria settled into the role it has in today Arcadia. Although all surrounding areas fall under its jurisdiction, there is sufficient self-governing and few central taxes to appease all but the most disgruntled. The huge areas of farmland around the city benefit from the well-kept roads, markets, and the busy export to other lands. Nearby villages benefit from the military might of Marcuria, protecting them against roving barbarians and Tyrrhene armies. And Marcuria also provides the people of the Northlands with one of the best and busiest ports in Arcadia, allowing travel to distant destinations around the world. And probably as was said, that we are a strong magician or strong... artist, yes. Could be a strong artist. Maybe we can fix the wind situation for the ship and travel by the White Dragon into some distant areas.
Are you done? Let me take that back for you.
Yes. You can take it back. Okay. Let's just have a quick chat. And after that, I'll have to at least keep a little pause, considering how much reading I just did. But first of all, little chat.
Oh, goodness, it's you again. Oh, you gave me such a
I've
fright.
never left.
Could I see some more books?
I'm not sure if I really
Certainly.
need more
What a
proofs,
silly
but...
question.
More Arcadian folk tales. That's at least something that I could ask. I don't know
I'm
if
looking for some
there's
information.
No matter.
anything more I can ask. More about the trekking. Okay, I can ask about more. To read the scripture again. I'd like to read more about the trekking. Well, let's read one more story at least.
I'd like to read more about the Draic kin.
Or
Why,
trekking.
of course. I will get the book you're looking for immediately.
I would assume that it's going to be a different book, because that didn't say that I need to read it again. Well, I guess we'll see. At least more folk tales to be had, I'm sure. Plenty of more folk tales. Folk tales, yes. Didn't manage to even have a look into this yet, but a lot to
I
read.
did find something of interest. I'll...
Yes, thank you very much. Alright, let's have a look. The Mr. Elec forward. This is something that we already read? Yes. Okay. Between the stars. Time shaped in unison with the all, part of all. Fertile imagination. Fine,
Are you
okay.
done? Let me take that
I
back
thought that
for
it would
you.
be something more, but I guess it wasn't. Let's just go and have a look into that then, I guess. Or maybe I should save first before there will be accidental crash or something sad like that, because that would be sad. Okay, so options, save game, into a new spot, and let's run downstairs. Ooh, like this. Wheel.
It's a rusty wheel.
Well, we probably can't use it.
Stuck.
How surprising. Doesn't seem like there's anything in there. Pool.
It's a pool of seawater. You'd think that it'd be a bad idea to have a pool inside a library on account of the moisture, but I guess magic makes everything possible.
Possibly. I wonder if I have anything that would work with it, but I would assume not. Sticky candy. Yes, definitely. Huh. I wonder. We still have the screwdriver, interestingly enough. And the picture and all that sort of stuff. Guess there's nothing else in here, though, exactly. We can't touch this, at least. The
water's pretty cold.
Okay. I wonder what use that will be. Organic plastic. Yes, no. Okay, but I'm gonna be leaving here for at least for the moment. And I will see you next time with April into Longest Journey. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you then. To be continued with Girarusha in the Longest Journey.